Have you ever had a public rejection before? Have you experienced a public rejection? The feeling is different. The rejection pierces your soul.
That's such a terrible shot.
Very stupid. Did I ask you a question?
Please stop forcing. What's that doing?
Turns out I'm 100% David. I got boy problems like the human in me. Bling bling. Oh yeah.
She came with all the energy on set. I'm sleepy. I have sore throat. Everything is doing me.
Although this video is being made in March 2022, but in December 2021, I had a recap of every time I held the camera. God, for myself, for YouTube, for films, for clients, with my friends, and it was just amazing seeing how I fell in love with video creation day by day. And my favorite part was definitely the ones we made with my friends. Some were shot outside, some videos were shot inside, mostly outside though because I prefer nature. But my recap will not be complete without mentioning that big rejection I had. The rejection that pierced my soul. Hi everyone. I just wanted to tell this quick story about a rejection that my friend and I had last year. And I just wanted to say that I've had tons of rejection. Who doesn't have rejection? Everybody has rejection. I feel like by now you should be able to shrug your shoulders towards rejection, but it's not actually that easy. But anyways, my friend and I had this rejection, and that's the story I want to talk about. And I mean, it's not really the rejection that hurts, it is the things that led to the rejection. So that's what this video is about. In October last year, my friend and I, Faith Uwani, we had this movie that we shot. So we decided to collaborate to do our first ever short film. So it was a short film. It was about 15 minutes. I'm one of my biggest critics, especially when it comes to editing. But I'll say that I did a really good job myself. I really loved how I edited it. The directing was good. The producing, Faith did a great job. The story was also good. And man, that movie was hyped. Our communities were hyping us. Go Eddie, you guys are great. She had friends, her friends that didn't know me were like, you tell Eddie she's so good at editing. Tell you guys are good. You guys should start this. You guys should start that. Me, my friends that didn't know her were like, oh my god, Faith did a great job, because she also like acted in the movie. She did a great job. Who produced this? They were hyping us. At that point, see, we felt like we can do anything because of the relative success of that movie. I mean, it's not like it blew up or anything, but because of the relative success, relative feedback from that movie we did together, we decided to try another one. Hot tears.
What?
What's your name?
Yeah, that means you get me.
What are you doing?
I ain't even playing right here.
I mean, she was probably just browsing the internet one day, and then she saw another opportunity for a competition where the participants will make a 3-minute short film. And note that we had already done 15-minute short film. It was almost perfect. It was very good. Everybody that watched it had something good to say about it, and so we're like, come on. The next day we met up, we started talking about the storyline. We immediately assigned roles. Okay, you'll be acting as this and that. And then me, I was already planning how I'll shoot it, what editing techniques I can use to make it better. And it was just something that was really exciting. It already felt like we're going to win. The most annoying part is that we have already shared the money. This matter is actually something that's actually very crazy if you think about it. Both of us are Christians, we're building our faith, and we just had this strong faith that we would win. Let me even tell you the part where we felt that we're going to win. It was this strong urge. We felt like, okay, this is a sign that we're going to win. when we started shooting the movie, it was difficult. It was very, very difficult because we had this crazy storyline in our head. We needed to shoot in a corner. We needed to have this kind of shot. So the storyline was about somebody who was trapped in a room, somebody who was seeking for help, and she had been carried away by, you know, by thugs. She had nobody to call to. She was just shouting. So the storyline itself was very difficult to shoot because we had to find somewhere that looked like a prison. We had to, you know, and again, that place originally was actually open, but we had to do it in a way that we could close it and nobody would know that it's an open space. So we also shot at night. It was very difficult. So the moments where we thought that, okay, this was actually going to be successful at the end, was that moment where it was getting difficult. Of course, when it's getting difficult, you're supposed to think that, oh wait, this is actually not our thing. But because both of us, we had so much enthusiasm, so much faith, so much hope, we're like, you know what, this difficult situation actually means that it will be successful at the end. No, bro, no. I remember I now decided to make a short video. I was like, hi everybody, shooting is so difficult. I feel like giving up, I feel like crying, but I'm going to post this to show that yes, it was difficult, but we triumphed at last. Then, you know, low-key, we were expecting that since it was so difficult to pull this off, we'll have a victory at the end. And you know, that's how many people live life. Because this thing is difficult, don't worry, let's have faith till the end. Maybe you're just getting something wrong. Maybe you can just get something right and then your life will actually be easier. Don't glorify suffering because of, okay, that end goal. Anyways, fast forward to the next day, we had our second shoot. You know, it was so interesting. We shot with these guys. You know, we had to call some of our friends. It was so funny. It was so interesting.
You guys stop now. Stop smiling, Richard, stop smiling.
You know, the storyline in my head looked like, yes, this is it. And it was now comedy. It was the kind of storyline that it starts with drama, then it ends with comedy. So I was like, nah, this is it. We told other people about it and they were like, I think that would be a good idea. I want you to know that if you tell your friends or your mom or your dad about your idea, they are most likely going to praise you. So that is a trap. Anyways, now guess what? After we were done shooting and editing, we released the movie and everybody was hyping us. God, they hype our life. Do you know what? We now looked at other people that submitted their own movies and they were like, nah, we'll beat this one, nah, we'll beat that one, nah, we'll beat this one, nah, it's going to turn out well for us at least, because they were just going to pick 20 people. Nah, look at this one, is whack. I'm saying it like it's funny now. At that point, it wasn't funny. One of my friends even commented. He tagged the people that were organizing the competition. And he said, these are your winners. And I pinned them. I pinned the comments. Because, you know, I just had that really huge faith that I would win. I also like to state that because of this hype, everybody knew that, you know, I was entering into this and, you know, it was very, very public. I mean, among our community, right? And I would like to state that Faith and I now started talking of the next phase of the competition. The competition was in 2 phases. So we already started acting like we had qualified for the first phase. And so we started talking of the second phase, started talking of the money, started talking of all these things. Announcements finally came. I was anxious, but at the same time I was happy. I felt like I had already qualified. And then we didn't. We actually didn't qualify. I was confused. Everybody was looking out. I felt like all eyes were on me. Because everybody really made me feel like I tried for the movie. They made me feel like it was perfect. They made me feel like, you know, I was doing very well. They made me feel like I was actually going to qualify. My ego was hot more than any other thing. My ego was freaking hot. Like, I battled with taming my pride. The rejection that hurt the most was actually one that hurt the most because my ego was hurt the most. I've always been applying for stuff in the past, do bits and pieces of putting myself out there, but those rejections come in to my email. It comes in private. But the fact that everything was so public, the fact that everybody, you know, was involved in the process, the fact that I had to see messages telling me, don't worry, it's all right, don't worry, it doesn't mean anything, rejection is part of life, rejection might mean redirection, and all those aspire to perspire stuff when I needed it the most was just heartbreaking. Yes, I thought my storyline was perfect. People made me feel it was perfect. You know, people watched it and they were laughing. They felt it was the perfect comedy. It had the perfect ending. You know, even my people I looked up to, you know, kind of give me a hint that I'm so proud of you, Eddie. You did a great job. I wish you the best. And you know, people around me felt like, yes, I think you found something that you are really good at, which is like filmmaking and editing videos and telling stories through videos. And yes, I felt like, yes, I had finally arrived, but it was a big no. I don't want to give some aspire to perspire shit, but I feel like not every time is rejection the direction. Sometimes you just have to look at your mistakes. Sometimes you just have to open your eye to what you're working on. It has some mistakes that you can actually adjust. I mean, people can say, yes, it was not your time, that's why you didn't win, or that's why you didn't qualify. Yes, that is a part the supernatural has to play, but what of the part I have to play? It crossed my mind that I should have adjusted it, but because I felt this story was perfect, it had to end this way. I'm good at telling stories, and so that's how it ended up that way. You know, if I had just let my ego die, if I had just been more humble and listen to my intuition about adjusting it, probably that would have made a whole difference. I've been trying to fix my pride, but that shit's broken. Yeah. So yes, sometimes it's good to actually put all your emotions into a project, but sometimes you have to step back and say, what if I am wrong about this? In fact, Elon Musk said something. He said we should always look at ourselves that we are always wrong, but how can we be less wrong? So me already thinking the movie was perfect, I was right because of all the hype. But sometimes rejection is good, so it can place you back to learning as if you just started, to being a child at your craft. That's the only way you can feel better and move forward. So yeah, that's my story. I hope you enjoyed it. I think I have a flair for, you know, just telling people about stories and sharing stories. So yeah, thank you for watching and bye.